at 560theanswer.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag.
Transvestite Day. That's fracking weird. But then again, Kristi Noem's husband has cleavage. That too is weird. Nonetheless, these are weird, wacky times. After all, you put a guy by the name of Barack Hussein Obama, and you couldn't figure out Iran was going to have more money and more weapons than ever before.
Those comments from the president, as we mentioned, came in the middle of his hard sell on that nuclear deal with Iran. And he had some tough words for those vowing to force a showdown over the deal in Congress. Our senior White House correspondent, Chris Jansing, has more on that for us.
Even by Washington standards, the political fight over the Iran nuclear deal is intense. And the White House...
Well, the Republicans lost that one, too. And on goes history. $14 trillion in foreign policy money since Barack Obama was laid on his ghetto Bentley, known as a Chrysler 300. It's no wonder that Iran ignored every aspect. And you now see the reality as rockets can go 2,000 miles from the cultists, theocrats. Here's the good news. The rest of the Middle East, as civilized as they can get in their monarchs, they seem to be siding with us.
You learn who your real partners are when the pressure rises. Not in what they say, but in what they do and how they show up. And nowhere that is clearer than in the relationship between the UAE and the United States. Across security.
This is Sultan, what the hell's his name? Sultan Ahmed Al-Jaber. Yabber dabber. Anyway, he's all in. The UAE, all in. Saudi, all in.
What little trust there was before has completely been shattered. The targeting of Riyadh while a number of diplomats are meeting, I cannot see as coincidental.
No kidding. They're trying to kill everybody. They're Islamo-Nazi cultists. And even Lebanon. If you're from Iran, get the hell out of here.
Today, the Lebanese government took a very bold decision to expel the Iranian ambassador from Lebanon. That's like the High Commissioner of Lebanon for many.
You won't hear this on state media, Iranian state media posing as our media. You won't hear this on government propaganda any more than you heard about Barack Hussein Obama's true legacy.
...is on offense.
So this deal is not contingent on Iran changing its behavior. It's not contingent on Iran suddenly operating like a liberal democracy. It solves one particular problem, which is making sure they don't have a bomb.
Poppycock. He gave them billions and billions and billions. And history will vindicate our accusations. History will right the wrongs of 2008 and 2012. History will remember Barack Obama and the American Democrats since the turn of this century as exactly what they are, inside trading traitors to America.
I wonder if you factor in the way that Biden's campaign ended when you think about your own legacy. I think that many people credit you or blame you for the way that campaign ended.
Well, I don't know. How can I say this in a nice way?
She can't talk anymore. She's been high on rails and drugs and dope and booze since 1980. Get off the table! But it made this whore very popular. She's worth $500 million from insider trading. Her and her husband, who can make two hammers stink at the same time, don't ever smell anything in the Pelosi house. And that's how our victims of this tyranny, of this fascism, of this Marxist mafia will remember. And they're also going to look back at exactly who Joe Biden was.
And Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce it, Shanga Kawawa.
A sentence without a word. The fracking president on a changing table, waiting for baby powder with his little skinny old man legs in the air. And the only thing more disgusting than that is this inside trading whore, Speaker of the House.
The Biden administration accomplished great things. People compared him to LBJ in terms of the amount of and the quality and quantity of accomplishments.
Really? And then history will focus on Kamala Harris. Who was Kamala Harris? Aside from Willie Brown's plaything, every Tuesdays and Thursday, we'll meet for lunch at the Ritz.
They say they will make America great again. Well, in my mind, that statement begs an obvious question. Again, for whom?
The working people. Unlike the sloths, such as yourself, the government suck-ons that make up your constituents, your clowns, your loyal subjects. And when it comes to people who were put in very powerful places by Obama, by the Clinton army, by Joe Biden, the dimwit in diapers, history and the kids who make it up, they will go through this time that we're living through right now. And they will. The CIA director who came on in the midst of a war with Iran as the entire Middle East sides with Donald Trump. The ex-head of the CIA comes on to give compliments to the Islamo-Nazi theocrats known as the Iranian murderers.
What about you, Director Brennan, when you saw the news of them, the troops that have been impacted in Saudi Arabia, that they've been successful in hitting a number of bases, it seems?
Well, I think as John pointed out, I think the Iranians have been very strategic in terms of husbanding some of their inventory of missiles, rockets, drones, and others, so that they would wait until a lot of the air defense capabilities in the Gulf states, in Saudi Arabia, even in Israel, are going to be depleted. As they overwhelm some of these air defenses and pointed out how many Patriot missiles have been expended.
And now you know how they got the Patriot missiles. The leader of the CIA is a traitor. John Brennan was a traitor at the time he was the head of the CIA. He is a traitor today, and history will remember him as a traitor. As in real time, the American moron scum Democrat voter could give a rip of who John Brennan was.
The truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
John Brennan was on Capitol Hill Thursday seeking the Senate Intelligence Committee's approval as the next director of the CIA. And that got us wondering
how a kid from North Bergen, New Jersey, who rode the D train 5 days a week to Fordham, found his way to a briefing chair in the Oval Office in the White House Situation Room.
Brennan, the son of Irish immigrants, attended Fordham University in the 1970s, just 11 miles from his childhood home. But after freshman year, his horizons began to grow.
I spent a summer traveling through Indonesia, taking in the wonderful landscape, culture, and people of Java and Bali. Despite my long hair, my earring, and my obvious American appearance, I was welcomed throughout that country in a way that is a reflection of the tremendous warmth of Islamic cultures and societies.
By junior year, Brennan was studying Islam and learning Arabic in Cairo.
And that's when he decided to become a traitor to his country. Although it wasn't a far leap. In 1976, he was a supporter and an outspoken voter for Gus Hall, the American communist, as was Jim Comey, another FBI director. And that's how history will remember what we suffered through. So when you see these imbeciles waving the communist flag in New York City,
Working class revolution! Working class revolution!
Solution! There is only one solution! Communist revolution! Communist revolution! There is only one.
Oh, you didn't know this was going on during the No Kings March? See, they said no kings, but this is what it was. With the flags, with the hammer and sickle. These rat, lazy, low-life communists. Here's the difference of why they're not going to win. They're not real men. These aren't men. These are little boys who didn't want to pay for their college, who don't want to go to work, and they figure it's easier to be a bust-out, low-life, useless rat communist, or as America calls them, Democrat voter, than it is to go out and get a job. And when it comes to their idea of no kings, believe me, they can't wait to be a slave. They just don't want to pay their own fracking rent.
Solution! There is only one solution!
And that got me thinking, all of the times we lived through with that moron in diapers, soiling his trousers, with the constituents and the imbeciles that made up his cabinet, signing bills, credos, demanding to be a king. You remember this.
Today, I affirm the Equal Rights Amendment to have cleared all the necessary hurdles to be added to the U.S. Constitution now.
Shut your wrinkled, useless, thieving, corrupt ass up. You're not a king. But there were no king marches, because what he was trying to do was just pay for other bust-out schools and for the nonsense that goes along with this communist agenda that tears down every fracking country. But fret not. Take solace in the fact that history is being written in real time. And as for your so-called allies that stole that foreign policy $14 trillion that was made available by the traitor Barack Obama and his cabinet, don't worry. It's all coming to an end.
Go get your own oil. Those are the words of U.S. President Donald Trump today as anger grows across some countries over the continued chokehold that Iran maintains on the Strait of Hormuz. That chokehold has disrupted the flow of about 20% of all natural gas and crude oil traded during.
But us, we're doing fine. We're net exporters. We don't need one of these ships. We don't need anything from anybody, thanks to Donald Trump. So to answer the office tramp's question of make America great again, that's what he meant, dummy. But like Willie Brown told everybody, you're useless with your clothes on.
Can someone tell me exactly which part of the past they want to bring back?
The part where we get to keep our money and we don't have to pay for your sloths and your illegal aliens that rape our women and kill our children. That's the part. We're going to go back to before Barack Obama. We're even going to go back to before Bill Clinton. We're going to go back to when there was a rule of law and criminals were nervous, which means you, office whore, get nervous. 312-642-5600.
He will never negotiate his constitutional rights with the government. Live free or die on the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. If you're a business owner with unfiled tax returns, tax season is not your friend. This is when the IRS turns up the heat. They match 1099s. They review payroll filings. They compare bank deposits. And when returns are missing, they don't send you a warning. They take action. Penalties stack up fast. Liens become public. Bank levies can drain your account. I see it every year. Good business owners who waited too long, not because they're crooks, but because they were overwhelmed. Let me be clear, hiding makes it worse. Action makes it fixable. I help business owners get compliant, file what's missing, and negotiate from a position of strength, not fear. Don't wait for the next certified letter. Don't wait for a levy. Go to fightbacknow.com and sign up for my daily email. I'll tell you exactly what to do next, step by step. Or call me right now at 312-664-6649. Act now before the IRS acts first.
With so much financial uncertainty, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if